Welcome back to Ghost Recon Breakpoint. In this video I have 30 tips and tricks that should hopefully help you out in your adventures on Auroa. Starting off, there will be a point you get to in the game where you're getting golds and purple drops. At that stage you will no longer get the standard white common drops, meaning you can't get the standard weapon parts to upgrade your weapons from Mark 1 to Mark 2. The way around this is to take out drones. There will be enemy drones all over the place. You can find loot drones and stuff that fly over your head. There will be drones at shipping yards and things like that, so taking a look at the map. For example, up here at the port, you will have some drones there you can take out. They can drop the standard weapon parts. Also, if we go down to Egg Island, you'll see there's a Murmur patrol area. That's an area patrolled by drones. Take them out, you can get standard weapon parts. Also, the convoys that drive past, you'll get the vehicles, it'll pop up on your map. It flickers between vehicle and gun or vehicle and gear. If you wait until you have a convoy passing that has gear, so it'll be the circle icon, go and take that out. When you take the goodies out the back of the truck, sometimes that can give you standard weapon parts too. Although it's not always a guarantee from any of it, it's pretty much based on luck. Sometimes you'll get improved weapon parts, other times you'll get standard. From my experience, the average gear score where you'll find your first purple is 70. For your first gold, it's around 110. My mate Con got his first at 106. My first gold was 115. When you're playing PvP in this game, it's very team focused. Yes, it'd be nice for your team if you could carry them to victory, but if you're the first to die because you're rushing around trying to be a lone wolf, it's not going to be appreciated. So stick with your team. It's going to benefit all of you as a group. You can eventually unlock every single skill in the game, so you don't necessarily need to prioritize certain ones first. By doing behemoth defense areas, and there's other loot containers at certain areas in the game, you can get more skill points, eventually unlocking them all. The water filter skill is a good one to go with. It's a passive, so it doesn't take up a perk slot. It will allow you, as it says, to fill your water bottles in swamps and salt water, so you won't have to find a freshwater source in order to fill it up. Plus it gives you another 2 canteens, taking your max capacity up to 5. When you've unlocked the rocket launcher to use, and you've selected it, if you're running out of ammo, don't worry too much about the crafting materials. All you need to do is go to the shop in Auroa or at a bivouac. You can actually buy the rockets for 100 credits each. The Sixth Sense perk is amazing because it gives you 25 meters automatic marking. You can also get that as a stat on some of your weapons. As an example, I have an extra 15 meters there. Automatic marking is your best friend. When you're walking around, it will automatically mark enemies, saving you a little bit of time because you'll have to do less recon. The wolves, 9 times out of 10, are going to drop the best gear in the game because they are the toughest enemies to take down. When you're targeting enemies, always aim for the head. This game is a one-shot headshot. Unless you're facing a heavy, then you're going to need to remove his helmet first. Your drone in-game has humongous amounts of range, and it's got a forever lasting battery, so use it to your advantage. It's up on the D-pad to access it. It can also scout the question marks and show you new areas. It'll update your map with them. Head over to your settings, which is the final tab, and when you're in your settings, there is a setting here called Reset Camera Side. Enable that and it will stop the game auto switching shoulder when you come out of cover. When you're in your loadout/inventory screen, you'll see at the bottom right there's an option called Skin Override. Enable that and then head over to the Customize tab. You can go through here and you can change your appearance without affecting any of the gear. As an example, you'll see I have this like navy cap on. It's actually called the Enhanced Field Cap. And then we go to my loadout. I have the ACH helmet on. Therefore, the Skin Override lets you customize the appearance of your character without affecting your gear. You can use whatever gear you want and have your character look how you want your character to look. Heading back into the settings, you can actually rebind your controls. If we go along, you can rebind breath control, for example. If you click on that, you can set a button. It's normally left trigger, but I've switched it to left analog stick because that's what I'm used to for breath control. Although when you aim down your sights and you hold your left stick in, you have to hold it for a few seconds until it actually holds your breath. When you're taking over an enemy base in the game, always use your map. Just because when you're taking one over, you can see the collectibles and the gear that's there. It will tick it off on a checklist, so that you will know what you've missed and what you haven't. Also, if there is something you've missed and you can't see it, whack your drone out, go do a little bit of recon, and you can find the missing crates. You don't actually have to travel back to Auroa or the social hub in order to use the shop. You can travel to any bivouac and use the shop from there. Also, you can do some preparations so that you get a 10% XP bonus that lasts an hour. Once the hour's up, switch it out for something like fatigue resistance, and then you can switch it back the hour later. Make sure you do your faction missions daily. They are the green ones. They reset every single day. As when you're going through this tiering system, you will unlock some cool rewards. As an example there, you have the P227. You have a sports car. You can get weapon variants like the AK-74 Assault. You'll get the gold camo. You can even get yourself an Ophius Mark II, which is a gunship. And it all comes for free. There is no purchase needed to gain access to this system. If I was to say to you that the 805 Bren assault rifle is my favourite gun in the game, it's not. I prefer the 516 or the 416. But if that was your favourite, then look around the map and find the blueprint for it. Once you have the blueprint, you can craft it and it will keep up with your gear score. As long as you have credits and stuff, you can craft them as many times as you want. They will come with different stats and things like that as well. When you are visiting the shop, if there's any gear or weapons that are like a +3 to your current gear score, make sure you purchase them. As it's going to help you with the grind, it will help you level up your gear score faster. Side missions, so the ones that are orange, can give you a decent amount of XP. You can see that one's 1600. If we go over, that one's 1600 as well. They shouldn't take you too long, and they can literally be found all over this island. If you're in the middle of a mission, do not panic about dying or anything like that. You can literally press back on your controller. You can go to your objective board, go down to the mission you're currently on, and then hover over it. You can replay missions from here as well. But if you die or there's an objective that you can't find or something like that, you can simply press X and you can retry from checkpoint. When you're in your objectives board, if you go up to the top, in the top right you'll have something called investigations. Check these often, as once you complete one of them, you can resolve the investigation and get yourself some XP. Up here in the top left of our loadout, we have class-specific challenges. You can pin them as well, which is handy. Make sure you get them done, as when you get to level 10, you'll get bonuses all the way through, but once you get to level 10, you get a special gun variant. If we go into the details for Assault, going down to level 10, you'll see that I get the Aug Assault. It's an assault variant, tougher recoil, but it's got higher power. Story bosses like Walker, Silverback and Rosebud will give you signature weapons that are going to have unique bonuses. Rosebud, as an example, will drop a sniper. It's an M93, and when you shoot that gun, it's the only gun I've found in the game so far that's locked to aiming down your sights. You can't fire from the shoulder with it. But the bonus on that gun is the fact that it will ignore enemy armor. EMPs are your best friend for drones and behemoths. If you're fighting a behemoth, chuck an EMP, it will temporarily take it out, which is going to give you some extra time to deal more damage. And just in general, for anything electronic, they come in handy. When you hold your left trigger to aim, you can click in your right stick to go from firing over the shoulder to aiming down your sights. Whichever is your personal preference. I like firing from the shoulder, but you can also tap your right bumper to switch from left and right shoulder. Going back into the menu, if you go up to this setting here, which is the identity tab, if you press your right trigger, it's going to show you the max stats you can get for a certain thing. Example, fatigue resistance goes up to a cap of 100%. The store in this game is completely optional for real money purchases, and everything you can buy from the store you can earn by simply playing the game. Every single enemy in this game has the chance to drop loot, so instead of using a chopper or a vehicle, if you run from to and from missions that are maybe 1.5 kilometers away or something like that, there is a chance you can improve your gear score even further. Any old pieces of gear or weapons that you might have, these are in another preset, so I can't do it with these, but dismantle them instead of selling them, because you'll need the parts from them to upgrade your weapons. As you can see, all of these weapons are Mark 1, but I have weapons like the VHSD2 assault rifle, that's up to Mark 3. Dismantling will give you the pieces or the materials that you need to upgrade. The 30th and final tip for this video, these are literally just off the top of my head. If I can think of any more, I might do a follow-up video or something like that. But the 30th and final is that gear and weapon crates, so far from what I've played, seem to reset each and every day. Not the scale credit ones. Collectibles won't reset or anything like that. They are locked and safe. Just the weapon and the gear ones, if you go to a compound you took down the day before, some of the crates might have respawned. And I'm going to add a number 31 in just for good measure. If you go into your loadout screen, click on your bag in the bottom left, and over in the top right hand side it will show the amount of credits you have, which will save you needing to travel back to the shop. So that was, well, it was 31, but I'm going to say that was 30 tips and tricks for Ghost Recon Breakpoint. If there's any you know of, then leave them in the comments so that we can help everyone out, so that they can enjoy their time even more when they are fighting enemies and hiding away from wolves drones in Auroa. That's going to do it for the video. Let me know your thoughts and stuff in the comments. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope it helped you out. Thank you for watching.